Superhero landing. Superhero landing! Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Now that Deadpool's been welcomed into the Disney family, his MCU debut is imminent, and we frankly can't wait for the first R-rated MCU movie.
I know, right?
Recently, some strong rumors of Deadpool's inclusion in the upcoming Spider-Man Far From Home are causing all the Marvel fans to salivate at this prospect. But what are these rumors? Deep within a Reddit post? Spreading across YouTube? Or another leak from Tom Holland himself? Let's dive in and find out exactly where these rumors came from and how Deadpool could appear in the movie. Why would Disney want to host an R-rated Merc With A Mouth? Well, the first Deadpool film was a huge success for Fox.
Whose did I have to fondle to get my very own movie?
Globally, the movie made over a whopping $780 million worldwide against a budget of only $58 million. So as Fox rolled around in their Deadpool money, they decided to make a sequel. Deadpool 2 earned $785 million in box office revenue, and the success of the Deadpool films had shown there is a big market for superhero films aimed towards adults. We can all thank Ryan Reynolds for bringing Deadpool onto our screens. The Canadian actor worked tirelessly to lobby producers at Fox. Reynolds' constant nagging finally paid off, and in a big way. Without him, we would have been stuck with the bizarre version of Deadpool from Wolverine Origins. Seriously, nobody wants that. Nobody. Something was missing from the Deadpool film franchise. Sure, we had him chatting to a few of the more obscure X-Men cast, but across the pond at Disney, the MCU is breaking records and delighting all the fans. The thought of seeing Deadpool interact with Star-Lord, Thor, or Iron Man, well, before Endgame anyway, played on the fans' minds. We wanted Deadpool in the MCU. Marvel's owner Disney had the same ambition. In March of this year, Disney completed the purchase of 20th Century Fox. Deadpool was so successful it's expected to be the only new former Fox property that isn't going to be rebooted by the MCU. The X-Men and Fantastic Four are both expected to start fresh. However, Ryan Reynolds is going to remain as Deadpool. Thanks, Ryan! Since Disney's huge purchase, the rumor mill has been rapidly spinning in how and when Fox's properties were going to be adopted into the MCU. Deadpool, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four could all team up with the Avengers on their next adventure, which is exciting. One of the more prominent rumors has mentioned how the Merc With A Mouth, Deadpool, may be about to do just that. The rumor indicates that our regenerating hero may be introduced in the next Marvel film, Spider-Man Far From Home. To comic fans, using Spider-Man to bring in Deadpool is perfect. The two characters have had their own team-up comic series which began in 2016. Avengers Infinity War and Endgame introduced some new shenanigans into the MCU. Those being time travel and alternative timelines and dimensions.
Time travel!
Oh my god.
What?
The new factors have opened the door to expand the MCU's character roster with their new former Fox properties. As we saw in the trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home, alternate realities may play a role in the film.
I'm sorry, you're saying there's a multiverse?
The supposed hero in the film, Mysterio, arrives into the main MCU from a different dimension. Marvel may not stop with just the illusionist and add in a few more characters in the same way. We could see a portal open and a katana-wielding Deadpool strut through it and into the MCU. Especially as the trailer showed, most of the Avengers are busy elsewhere. Spider-Man could do with a friend. With Spider-Man's back up against the wall, he could use the same technology that Mysterio used to find some allies. Peter Parker could then stumble into the dimension that houses Wade Wilson. Far From Home will also be the last film in Phase 3. Due to this, the film could ignite a whole new future as we transition into Phase 4. Most of the audience will consider Endgame to be the final film of Phase 3. However, Marvel have confirmed that Far From Home will close the Phase 3 chapter. New storylines and characters are a good way to start this new chapter of the MCU. The landscape of the MCU is foggy at the moment and needs some new potential. Is there a better way than bringing in Deadpool? Nah, we think not. The scenes of Tom Holland and Ryan Reynolds bouncing off each other would be very entertaining to the MCU audience, as both actors nail the portrayal of their Marvel characters.
Have you seen this man?
Besides from Far From Home, there are a few theories doing the rounds at the moment. The ones we're talking about are how Deadpool will walk into the MCU. The first theory is that Deadpool will be brought in through his own film, Deadpool 3. Some fans are nervous that the usually family-friendly Disney may damage the Deadpool brand. A lot of the audience appreciate the age diversity that Deadpool brings to the table. The options are limited for superhero films that are created for a more mature audience. Whilst most of the MCU will be tailored to as many ages as possible, this can get a little tedious with a lack of variety. However, Disney has stated that the R rating for the film series won't be lowered now it's at Marvel, so we should expect more of the same adult humor and hostile action. With Wade Wilson's ability to break the fourth wall, he'll likely address the elephant in the room and mention the new owners,
Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break.
which then allows Wade to move on and carve his path in the MCU. The second theory comes from Disney's new subscription service, Disney+. This service has a few MCU characters starring in their own mini TV series, such as the Scarlet Witch and Vision's WandaVision, and the Loki series. The Loki series is said to include a glance at the altered timeline Loki escapes into during Endgame. As a new service, Disney will be looking to add as much content as they can. A fresh new series that jumps on the MCU and Fox merger announcement may be a good starting point for the House of Mouse. With even more Marvel characters yet to appear in the MCU, they could add Deadpool in this way. By introducing a very popular film character through a Disney Plus series, it'll likely increase the number of people signing up. Now with other MCU characters having their own Disney Plus series, we may see crossovers between Marvel's films and TV shows more than ever before. So if Deadpool was to start at Disney Plus, it wouldn't take long until he's back in the cinema. The third and final theory is still related to Spider-Man, however, not too far from home. This one alludes to the possibility of Wade's MCU debut coming in the form of Spider-Man 3. Far From Home may be a little too soon to include the mercenary, as the official deal wasn't completed too long ago. The deal was on the table for a while, however, nothing is guaranteed until the deal is complete. The story for Far From Home would have already been created and signed off on. The only possibility is a rewrite and reshooting, but that would cost a fair amount of money and take up a lot of time. Disney may not see that as a good idea. We did mention earlier that the end of Phase 3 may be a way for Deadpool to arrive into the MCU. However, now we're going to argue against ourselves. So with Far From Home signaling the end of Phase 3, this may not be the best time to introduce new characters. The end of a phase will usually dictate the environment in the next phase, such as setting up the next big bad for the MCU. With Thanos out of the Marvel picture, there is a large villain shape that needs to be filled, something which would be prioritized before introducing new heroes. The MCU needs some high stakes for their next world-saving adventure. Once this is done, we can then see Deadpool being recruited into the MCU during Spider-Man 3. It will mean waiting even longer, but the wait will hopefully be worth it. By delaying Deadpool's introduction to Spider-Man 3, there will be time to let the Endgame fallout settle. This will also allow the filmmakers to take their time in finding a proficient way to plop Wade into the MCU. Besides from Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, there is another non-MCU character that may be introduced instead. Currently, Sony still owns the film rights to Spider-Man and his cast of characters, which includes Venom.
We are Venom.
Venom vs. Spider-Man is a film we all want to see eventually as well. However, it's a tough choice in what we would prefer first. Leave a comment down below on who you'd prefer to be in the MCU first, Venom or Deadpool? If Deadpool was going to appear in Far From Home, there is one way in particular that may work. This way, it doesn't affect the story as much, but also hints to the future of the MCU. If you've guessed it already, congrats! Of course, we're talking about the hallowed end credits scene. Endgame didn't have an end credit scene, really. We did get a sound effect of Tony Stark hammering away as he created his Iron Man armor, but that was it, which honestly was a tad disappointing. What better way to bring back the end credit scene than to introduce the Merc With A Mouth? One other character was introduced this way in the past in particular. We're talking about the big, sometimes blue, sometimes purple Thanos. All the way back in 2012, during the end credits of the first Avengers film, we saw the Mad Titan. The rest is history. A similar style could be used for Deadpool. He could even parody Thanos' first appearance. That'd be pretty great. Either way, it's a clean way to bring in the mercenary. Then, later down the line, Deadpool can make his first proper appearance, either through his own film or in Spider-Man 3. Or even perhaps pushing people towards signing up with Disney Plus in order to find out how Deadpool got into the MCU. The future of the MCU is exciting at the moment. With more and more characters getting their film rights taken home to Marvel, there are so many possibilities. Wade Wilson and Peter Parker would be a great place to start the new MCU era. So, which theory do you like the most for Deadpool's first MCU appearance? Do you have any other ideas? Leave a comment down below. To keep up to date with our marvelous content, please subscribe and click the tiny bell for notifications. Finally, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on ScreenRant. Excelsior!